Welcome to the 2020 Deakin Alumni Awards and our first virtual awards ceremony. We are delighted to include so many of our Deakin community in this year's event. Outstanding alumni were nominated for these awards from around the world, and we are proud of all of their achievements. Deakin's greatest success stories and advocates are our graduates who have studied across the 5 Deakin campuses. Warrnambool Campus, Geelong Warn Ponds Campus, Geelong Waterfront Campus, Burwood Campus, and via the cloud online. Now we will share the winners' incredible stories with you. Yama, hello. My name is Dr. Paul Harrison and I'm the Deputy Director of Deakin's MBA program and a proud Deakin alumnus. It's great to have you with us today for this special event with our Deakin alumni and community from all over the world. As we gather for this event, physically dispersed and virtually constructed, it's important for us to take a moment to reflect on the meaning of place, and in doing so recognise the various traditional lands on which we live, gather and work. As a descendant of the Gilmour mob from northern New South Wales, and on behalf of Deakin University, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the elders, past, present and emerging, of all the lands that we live and work on with gratitude and respect. And I want to extend my respect and welcome to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander mob who are present today. Our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ian Martin, has selected this year's Alumni Award recipients. And as is often the case with these annual awards, with so many exceptional alumni from this great university, the process was a difficult one. These outstanding alumni have made significant contributions to their communities. Through their professional and personal lives, they emulate Deakin's values of ethics, excellence, sustainability, and inclusivity. Each recipient has helped us to create a video to share their stories with you, and we'll be showing these to you very soon. Before we announce today's winners, I would like to warmly invite Vice-Chancellor Professor Ian Martin to speak.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for your wonderful welcome to country. Welcome everybody who's joining us today. The annual Deakin Alumni Awards is a highlight in our university calendar. In a year that has challenged all of us and tested our resilience and community spirit, it is wonderful to have such an event that recognises the achievements of Deakin alumni and brings us together to celebrate them. Universities play an important role in Australia and across the world. We need look no further than the global efforts to understand, manage and treat COVID-19. This is an area where Deakin academics such as Professor Catherine Bennett have made major contributions. Universities are multifaceted. They're rich and complex entities that deliver immense value across a wide range of community priorities. Our alumni represent the richness and complexity of Deakin. Their careers exemplify the positive impact talented and dedicated individuals can make. We've always said that our alumni are the best measure of our success. The Alumni Awards give us the opportunity to celebrate the achievement of individual graduates, but also the difference our university is making in the world. At Deakin, we've been planning for our next 10 years in a world that is changed. But more than ever, the world needs graduates who are highly skilled, adaptable and ambitious. Deakin aims to provide its graduates with a set of skills that equips them to excel in their chosen careers and to contribute widely to the life of their community. We also want to keep our doors open to them throughout their careers. A Deakin education needs to be accessible at all career stages, whether just starting out when taking the next step, or for those seeking to change careers or add to their portfolio of skills. Our alumni community is a vital part of this ongoing connection to industries and employers. We want to make sure our courses are contemporary and relevant, and we want to remove the barriers to a Deakin education. The education we provide to our students so often leads to lives of purpose. I certainly would not be here today without such an education, something I'm incredibly grateful for. Sometimes our graduates dedicate themselves to one specific cause or field of endeavour, but increasingly our graduates are making an impact across many sectors in the community. They are seizing new opportunities, applying and transferring their knowledge to emerging disciplines, often pioneering new approaches and championing innovation. This is so exciting to see. After all, the spirit of innovation and enterprise is written into the values that underpin our university. Every day, Deakin graduates are making a difference in the world as leaders in their profession, in industry, commerce, in government, and in their communities. We're seeing life-changing contributions in areas that Deakin prioritises: health and well-being, emerging technologies and the ethics surrounding their use, building safe, secure and just communities, sustainability and sustainable energy production, sports, art and culture, education, business, and sitting behind much of this, strengthening a democratic and civil society. Today is a real opportunity to celebrate our highest achievers, to turn the spotlight on those who have studied with us, who grasp the opportunities made available to them, and have gone out and made a real difference in the world. Congratulations to all of you on your sustained energy and endeavour, your work ethic and passion, and your commitment to making a difference to the lives of others. On behalf of Deakin, thank you so much. And now back to you, Paul.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. I would now like to invite our Chancellor and past Deakin Alumni Award winner, Mr. John Stanhope, AM, to say a few words.
Thank you, Paul. It's great to be part of this event as always. I'd like to start by thanking our talented MCs and tell you just a little bit about them. Dr. Paul Harrison is a Deakin alumnus and is Deputy Director of Deakin's MBA program. He is a Senior Lecturer and the Unit Chair of both Marketing and Consumer Behaviour at Deakin Business School. Paul's research is in the area of public health and behavioural change, focused on emotional and rational behaviour, and how our biology and the environment interact to influence the way we make decisions. Pamela Barham is a Deakin alumna and current Deakin PhD candidate. Pamela's research focuses on using non-invasive brain stimulation to better understand how our ability to imagine movement affects people with development coordination disorder, which is a serious disorder affecting movement. Pamela is also a recent participant in Deakin's 3-minute thesis final. The annual Alumni Awards is a wonderful occasion because it strengthens the connection between the university's work in education and the impacts that occur much further down the line. Without recognising our alumni's achievements, the impact we make through our education will be much more about the short term, about the immediate benefits for our students and the promise of what they might achieve in their careers. Today, we acknowledge alumni who are trailblazers in their professions and in their communities. They are talented and dedicated and have established themselves as leaders. Today, we are drawing on that thread back to Deakin and to their time with us. My association with Deakin University has been a lifelong and a very personal one. I am proud to be a Deakin alum and also to have been an alumni award winner. While I have spent much of my career away from the university, I am delighted to have returned and to help nurture the next generation of Deakin talent. It is an honour to be the Chancellor of Deakin University. It is a rare opportunity to take on some of the custodianship of Deakin's legacy and to help shape its future. It is also a privilege to be a member of the University Council and on a number of select advisory groups that make decisions regarding the kind of university we want Deakin to be and what impact we want it to have on and in our communities. Just a little bit about the Council. The Council is responsible for the strategic direction of the university and, of course, along with the executive, drives that strategy. And, of course, we select the executive. Our role is to guide the university through interesting times, and we are in those interesting times. But the good news is we can learn from much of this experience that we are going through right now. Our objective is to make sure the student experience is good and that we equip students for the jobs of the future. And, of course, that they can impact their communities. We always encourage graduates at graduation ceremonies to keep in touch with us and each other, of course. It is an important network to maintain. Deakin Alumni Awards hold a special place in the alumni family. These awards are not given without serious consideration. They are formal acknowledgement of significant achievements and contributions to the community. My congratulations go to this year's award winners. May you continue to achieve your best, make a difference in your communities, and of course, enjoy the journey. I strongly encourage you all to stay connected with Deakin. We want to hear more of your work, your successes, how you've overcome challenges, and how you are mentoring others. As the Vice-Chancellor has mentioned, it is more important than ever that we build our links with our alumni and with our community. For many, the road ahead will be difficult, but there are many opportunities for Deakin and our alumni to contribute and to help others succeed. Deakin is well known for its resilience and its adaptability. We also rise to challenges, and we always do this alongside our community. We look forward to seeing you all again soon, and once again, I congratulate you all on your achievements and your awards today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. So we've set up a comment function today so you can share any thoughts or messages with other attendees and our award recipients. And they've joined us for this event and we'll be able to see your comments. We'd also love to hear where you're joining us from. The comments box is just below the video player on your webpage. So we've already had some early comments coming through. Gemma says, "This is exciting. I can't wait to hear from the Alumni Award winners." ZC says, "Wow, this is so exciting. So much needed inspiration during this challenging year." And another comment from Virdi, "Good morning all. It's great to join this meeting. I'm proud to be part of the Deakin University family. This is the first time I have met alumni online." So now it's time to announce the 2020 Young Alumni of the Year recipients. The criteria for this category is graduates who are under the age of 40 at the time of nomination. And I'll now hand over to alumna and PhD graduate, or PhD candidate, Pamela Barhoon, to announce the Young Alumni Award recipients and show you the trophy that this year's winners will all receive. Over to you, Pamela.
Thank you, Paul. This year's trophies were designed by a team of current students undertaking a collaborative design project within Deakin School of Communication and Creative Arts. We'd like to thank them very much for their creativity, and we are thrilled to have had students directly involved with these awards. The team consists of Daniel Connors, Karina Armstrong, Sam O'Shaughnessy, Kieran Yogasingham, and Andy Tran. We'd also like to thank Maria Bates, lecturer from Deakin School of Communication and Creative Arts, for her input into the project. Here is a short video to give you a taste of the wonderful work that this team has done and their creative process in developing this year's trophies. Itself, which all our award winners will receive. As you can see, it's made up of 3 materials: polished concrete, wood, and clear acrylic. In designing this award, the students chose these materials specifically to represent the alumni community and the career journeys of our award winners. The concrete base represents the solid foundation and support that a Deakin education prepares its graduates for success. The wooden section represents the personal growth after study and throughout their careers, while the clear top section represents the extension of that growth into the fantastic successes that we are celebrating here today. Thank you once again to the team. You have done a wonderful job. Our first Young Alumni of the Year award winner is the co-founder and brand director of Thankyou, a social enterprise that offers consumer products for the sole purpose of helping end extreme poverty. They started with just bottled water and now have over 55 products, ranging from personal care products to nappies and baby care. The Thankyou consumer movement has raised millions of dollars to provide safe water, toilets, and child and maternal health programs to people in need. Congratulations to Justine Flynn.
There's no one that deserves this award more than Justine does. She's an incredible leader and visionary, and she inspires so many around her.
Well, we never had enough money to justify going and seeing our projects ourselves. So I think we were about 3 years in by this point. We had the opportunity to go and see them for the first time, and I just did not really fully comprehend the impact that it was making across the board. Instead of spending all their money on medical expenses due to the waterborne diseases, they had the ability to go to school, to be able to have an education, to be able to equip them for their future, for them to be able to dream about what they want to do when they grow up.
When I started Thankyou 12 years ago with my co-founders, we started with a vision to redistribute wealth from consumer spending to help the most vulnerable in the world. We sell over 50 consumer products, such as hand wash and sanitizer, and have now raised over $17 million for impactful change makers who focus on ending extreme poverty. The power behind the brand has been people. We have seen them back Thankyou to where we are today. For example, the 2 biggest supermarkets here in Australia, when they said no for 5 years, a movement of people gathered together to petition via social media. 2 helicopter pilots even flew banners for free around their head offices, inviting them to change the world with us. The startup journey sure had its challenges. We were all in our first year of uni, juggling our part-time jobs and learning as we went. I was studying the theory one day and literally applying it the next. Deakin's off-campus program really worked well for me because I was able to use business hours to start up the business and juggle those part-time jobs in between. We are now over a decade into the journey, and we are embarking on Thankyou's next chapter to take the concept to the world, and we cannot wait to see what the future holds. I would like to start firstly by saying thank you, no pun intended, but I'm generally grateful for the person who nominated me and the entire Deakin Alumni Committee for the honour of receiving this award. I would also like to thank my incredible husband, Daniel, who has supported me through my studies, but has also been my biggest encourager as well as co-founder. When we started, we had no financial backing or experience, just a whole lot of passion and a vision. And when you see something, you cannot unsee it. With only a few more months left in 2020, and we have so many things changing and being taken away from us, we need to realize that we do have a choice. We can choose to put the covers over our heads and long for anticipation for this year to be over. Or we can choose to arise, to use our voice, our education, our skills, our unique differences to collaborate, to unite, to partner, and to recreate the world that we want to see the future generation living in.
Our second Young Alumni of the Year award winner is an entrepreneur and innovator with many international awards to her name. She's passionate about diversity and equality and strengthening the Indian-Australian relationship. She became an accidental entrepreneur while working as a commercial lawyer until she discovered that her side hustle was bigger than she ever imagined. She needed to take the leap from corporate to grow her business Chai Walli from the ground up. Chai Walli is an award-winning tea business focused on bringing the most authentic Indian Ayurvedic teas to the world, intertwining her rich Indian heritage with her Australian upbringing. She educates people about the ancient Indian culture of teas and spices through her educational services, workshops, and social media. Congratulations to Uppma Virdi.
Uppma is a very worthy winner of the 2020 Deakin Young Alumni of the Year Award. Since graduating with a Commerce Law double degree from Deakin in 2013, Uppma has become a lawyer, an entrepreneur, a women's activist, a powerful speaker, and a tea master. Uppma has been named Forbes 30 Under 30, CNN's 40 Under 40, as well as a Businesswoman of the Year at the Indian Australian Community Awards, semi-finalist at the Victorian Young Achievers Award, and featured as a woman to watch by The Project on Channel 10. She has become a strong advocate for empowering women to follow their dreams in the same way she has followed her own.
I am Uppma Virdi, and I am the founder and owner of Chai Walli. I'm so completely honored to be recognized as the recipient of this year's Deakin Alumni Awards. After working as a lawyer for many years, Chai Walli was a side passion that grew into a business and forced me to leave my legal career. I now run an award-winning spice and tea business that is focused on the education of the Indian culture and sharing Australian-made blends derived from my Indian family recipes. At Chai Walli, I lead a team of chai crusaders, and our mission is to work with integrity, respect, and authenticity. And for most of my upbringing, I felt at parallels as to who I am. But when I created Chai Walli, I created a space that allowed me to creatively bring both my Indian and Australian cultures together in a unique way and be the person that I aspired to be. Although my path is not a traditional path from what I studied at Deakin, my experience at Deakin helped shape me into the person I am today. Diverse, creative, globally aware, balanced, innovative, and hardworking. So today I stand here in my Chai Walli warehouse as a proud business owner with so much gratitude for the opportunities and the recognition I've received. My most memorable achievement was of being invited to India by the Australian High Commission to launch International Women's Day and embark on a week's journey of public speaking in 3 different cities with the aim to create change and empower gender parity. I'm an entrepreneur, yet I'm also a soccer player, a writer, a speaker, a dancer, a teacher, a student, a tea specialist, a cultural educator, and a change maker. In this evolving world, we have the ability to create opportunities and instigate change. We can be whoever we aspire to be, but we just need to take the first step. Thank you so much for this recognition. I'm really honoured and appreciative of it.
Congratulations again to our 2 Young Alumni of the Year Award winners. It's so inspiring to hear about all the wonderful work that they are doing. Now I'll hand it back to you, Paul.
Thanks, Pam, and congratulations to Justine, Flynn and Uppma Virdi. 2 really deserving recipients, and it's so wonderful to see our young alumni making such important contributions. Makes me proud to be part of the Deakin community. I love the Thankyou hand sanitizer, which I use lots and lots nowadays because it smells great. And I'm now excited to try Uppma's masala chai. So for those of you who love a chat with smart, inspiring people, Uppma will be joining us on the Deakin Alumni Facebook page for a live session after today's event at 12:15 Melbourne time. Thank you as well to those who've been joining the conversation via our comments box, and please do keep them coming. I'm actually told that we have more than 800 people joining us from around the world, from the US, from Dubai, where it's 4 a.m, from Riddles Creek, Canberra and Sydney. And we've already got some messages for Justine and Uppma from Melissa. So amazing, two zeros, so that was pretty amazing. Congratulations, Justine. Vanessa says, wow, absolutely inspirational. We've got another one from Nayaz who says, awesome, Justine, very inspiring. Heard about you and read about you in one of the Indian magazines. Great to know that you are a Deakin Alumni winner. Congratulations and wishing you the very best. Now I have the honour of announcing the 2020 Deakin Alumni of the Year Award recipients. Our first Alumni of the Year winner is an outstanding architect and firm director of SNO Architects based in Malaysia with over 30 years of experience. He's a leader in innovation and environmentally sustainable buildings with energy efficient designs. He's held positions on boards including the esteemed position of President of the Malaysian Institute of Architects and Chairman of the Green Building Index, and has supported education in both Malaysia and Australia. Congratulations, Saifuddin Bin Amud.
Hi, my name is Tat Hong Chiam. My Aussie friends call me Tat. I'm a graduate from Deakin Architecture, 1984. And I decided to nominate architect Saifuddin as Alumni of the Year.
I had always wanted to be an architect, a profession that deals with creativity and very much involved with people and environment. I joined Deakin as an advanced standing student. I was very inspired by the diversity and innovative ideas to create sustainable designs, and the wonderful teaching staff, in particular Professor Kevin Boland, who was the foundation professor of architecture. Besides practicing, I am very much involved with the Institute and the industry, being invited as a juror for competition, moderating seminars and forums. But what I find most rewarding is giving talks and sharing my experiences with students and people in the industry. And I proudly tell everyone I'm a graduate of Deakin. I was the Malaysian Institute of Architects President from 2011 to 2013. Currently Vice President, Zone B Arcasia, and Council Member Alternate Region 4, the International Union of Architects. I am also the longest serving member of the Board of Directors, University Malaya. I've designed many buildings, but I'm most fortunate to be the architect for the Low Energy Office Building for the Ministry of Energy, Green Technology and Water Malaysia, which won the MCIA 2003 and the ASEAN Energy Award 2006. This building was also chosen to be the Malaysian 50-cent commemorative stamp in 2009 in recognition of its contribution to sustainable architecture. I'm truly honored and humbled by this surprising recognition, especially from my alma mater, and during this time when the world is facing so many challenges and difficulties due to the pandemic. Let us reflect and think what we have done to make this world a better place to live, just not for us, but for the future generation. To Ted, thank you for the nomination, and to my beloved family, thank you for being there all this while. To Deakin University, I'm truly blessed. Thank you.
Such wonderful achievements, gorgeous designs, and lovely to see that Saifuddin still has a strong connection to Deakin and a very cool Deakin retro top. A special thanks to Saifuddin, who edited much of his own video that you saw today. Our next Alumni of the Year winner is a social innovator, a change maker, an entrepreneur and champion for a solution to an overlooked social problem. After her son was seriously ill, she saw firsthand that children with serious illness were being left out of the classroom life and isolated when they couldn't attend school. She empowers these children through her organisation that places robots in schools so these children can have a presence in the classroom and are included. Through research and practice, she advocates for change for these children and informs the efforts of educators, health providers and governments. She's the co-founder and CEO of Robots for Good and the co-founder and CEO of internationally recognised, not-for-profit Missing School. Our congratulations to Megan Gilmour.
Within the space of 8 years, Megan has moved from experiencing a serious issue to being a world leader in the field and the creator of a simple solution. That has been her path, and it has taken a lot of time each and every day, a lot of guts to keep going when others have dropped off, a lot of frustration when those with agendas would throw up roadblocks, a lot of drive to work for very little money, a lot of brains to design, fund and test a solution, all to pay back the gift of our son's life.
Usually doing an activity that the whole class are doing together, so Ayla could be part of it. It's almost as if she's still there. It's a pretty easy, straightforward thing for us to do, and it's positive for everyone.
I grew up in one of the lowest socioeconomic areas of Sydney, but I used to say out loud that I wanted to live an extraordinary life. I left school at age 16 and got a job in government, became the youngest member of a minister's staff. I later worked on ambitious zero poverty and social initiatives across 24 countries. But when I boarded that care flight to carry my 10-year-old son to Sydney for treatment that would eventually save him, I realised I was living that extraordinary life. And what did I witness? At the crossroads of physical and emotional pain and relentless social isolation is the battle of so many kids. At the frontier of the human spirit, there they were, funnier, kinder, and braver than we can imagine. Hope lies in proving to them that they are worth educating. Since then, we've launched Australian First research to put school connection for sick kids onto a national agenda. We've triggered media everywhere to raise awareness, initiated the first Commonwealth report on the subject, and I researched in 6 countries to position Australia's response through a Churchill Fellowship. Our robots have been approved for use in schools in all 8 states and territories, getting sick kids back to class from hospital and home. The next thing is the policy, a push for permanent change. I believe Australia can be best in the world at this, and I'm making that my job. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, academic and all staff, fellow alumni and guests, I am truly honoured to receive this award. In 2009, when I entered the heartbreak that was to become my 9-year-old son's 2-year battle for life, I never imagined being here. When I walked out of Sydney Children's Hospital at the end of 2011, holding my son's hand alongside my daughter and husband, I promised myself I wouldn't turn my back on kids like him who most need their schools in their toughest times, and so started the Missing School organisation. I also promised myself I would do my master's degree, never again taking for granted a formal education, and so started at Deakin University. This award is game-changing for me in leading the Missing School mission, but it's life-changing for seriously sick kids across Australia by now shining your bright light on the education they deserve. I'm here because I stand on the shoulders of giants, the big hearts and brilliant minds who continue to support my work and help me. I count you among those too. Thank you so much.
That is such a powerful and inspiring story, and one that resonates strongly in a year when so many of us have felt just a taste of the isolation that these children probably experience. Congratulations again, Megan. Thank you for doing such important work. And thank you as well to those of you who've been sending through messages via our comment function. Please do keep them coming. So I'll just take a quick look. So Ava says, "Hi, I'm checking in from Los Angeles. As a prospective student, it's inspiring to see the kinds of people within and coming out of Deakin." We also have a message from Chris. Chris is from Brisbane. He says, "Greetings from Brisbane. Congratulations to all the amazing award winners. Amazing experience in connecting remotely with the Deakin alumni. Great job, Deakin staff." And Charmaine says, "Good morning from Sri Lanka. Congratulations to all the recipients." Oh, we've also got a lovely message from CB Dean Professor Karen Hapgood for Saifuddin. "What an amazing architectural career. Congratulations." And we have a message from Vice Chancellor Ian Martin. "I'm so proud to be part of such an incredible university and alumni community. What extraordinary stories." So our next Alumni of the Year winner is a humanitarian aid worker who has headed World Vision in Sri Lanka's Humanitarian and Emergency Affairs team. She's also worked with World Vision in Mozambique, in Nepal, in South Sudan, as well as Plan International in Sri Lanka and Motivation Charitable Trust based out of the UK. She's now a consultant with extensive international development and humanitarian program experience, and she specialises in disaster management and grant acquisitions. She's a graduate of Deakin's Humanitarian Leadership Program. Congratulations, Amenti Jasinga.
Hi, my name is Jude Nishanta, currently working as Area Program Manager in Jaffna, Sri Lanka. Amenthi is an amazing leader. She is one of the best leaders I have ever worked with, and I wish her all the very best.
I am actually qualified in marketing, and I worked in marketing communications. Learning about how to build a brand and the fine line between profit and sales and communication was really fun, but the company I was working for, they lamented about the death of a brand, and something inside me sparked. I thought, oh my goodness, this isn't a real person. And it was then that I made the decision that I need to start doing something more meaningful with the sort of talent that I had. And if you're not passionate about what you're marketing, and if you're not passionate about what you're talking about, then you're not going to really be very good at what you do. So in 2004, we had the devastating Asian tsunami. And in 2005, the need for us as a nation to really do something. And I started to work in a small disability organization. And it was the most rewarding time of my life. It was the best 3.5 years of my life working with people with disabilities. And it was like waking up and coming home. I am beyond fortunate to have received quite a few opportunities to develop myself. One such opportunity, of course, was the Deakin Humanitarian Leadership Program. And I have to say that was probably the most life-changing leadership course I'd ever been on. I'm happy to say that actually the course made me look at my staff differently, find out truly where they could go with the strengths that they had. I wouldn't have changed my course for the world. I still wouldn't. I'm staunchly humanitarian. And that part of me would never really go away.
To the Deakin alumni, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for this award. This award is completely unexpected. I am proud to say that I am an aid worker because I share this platform with so many people who are completely and absolutely selfless. And I really want to honor all of those other aid workers out there with this award. This is yours, and I will never be holding this as my own. To the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor of Deakin University, I want to thank you for the opportunity for allowing such a life-changing course for humanitarians. I want to thank Dr. Phil Connors, Dr. Stephen McDonald. I want to finally give thanks to my support network, to my family and my friends. It has been a fabulous few years, and it wouldn't have been possible without you. And finally, it is impossible to do the work that I do, to the places that I'm sent to, if I am not sufficiently guided. And I'm guided by a God above who has been instilled in me from my childhood.
Congratulations again, Amenthi. Such a worthy recipient, and it was lovely of you to acknowledge your fellow humanitarian workers in the way that you did. The work that you do as a sector is invaluable. So we've got some more comments coming in from Brian. Well done, Megan. What you have done and continue to do is absolutely amazing. I'm a school principal and thank you for what you are doing for sick kids. We've got a message from Amanda. An amazing and inspirational, wonderful story, Megan. Congratulations on your award for this outstanding and critically important work. And a message from Evelyn. How uplifting to become aware of the work the award recipients have carried out. We are all the better for having people like them in our world. And another message from Helen. Congratulations to all. I love being part of this community who care about helping others in need in the world. We've also got a message from one of Deakin's professors, Professor Rachel Huxley. She's the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Health. What beacons of light for a very dark year. Congratulations to you all on your selfless, incredible achievements. And from Mahika, amazing and truly inspiring stories we are hearing today. Congrats to all the participants. Go Deakin. Very thankful to have received my education here too. And we have a message from Megan Gilmour, who was one of the graduate winners. So grateful for this award. Thank you, Deakin and alumni. Congratulations for the amazing work of the winners. And from Amenti Jasinga, another one of the award winners. Thank you so much for this award. I'm humbled to be with my fellow awardees. You are all so amazing. So our final Alumni of the Year winner are part of a team, and this is a first. We haven't awarded a team in this way before. So the story begins with Ben Heinsohn, co-founder and chief scientific officer of an early stage biotech company in California called 10x Genomics. 5 other Deakin PhD graduates have since been employed in the company. And 5 years later, 10x Genomics has been listed on the NASDAQ stock market and has grown from 40 to over 700 employees. They all share the vision of addressing the true complexities of biology and disease. So congratulations to Dr. Ben Heinsohn and the 10x Genomics team of Deakin alumni, Dr. Chris Heinsohn, Dr. Joshua Delaney, Dr. Adam Lowe, Dr. Jeff McDermott, and Dr. Jessica Terry.
I grew up in a family of 8, one of 8 children. Didn't really know what I wanted to do in my future. Around about grade 9, I got interested in science and thought that was something pretty cool, something pretty interesting that I could apply my brain to, because my dad was a scientist but went into the IT world and had a successful career there. My mum was a teacher. She always was interested in education and also instilled that value of education into our family. We were living in Geelong at the time. Deakin was a university that was close by and they had an open day. My dad zeroes in on this one table. This was Professor Barnett. He was one of my biggest mentors, biggest influence in my life. And he really gave me the opportunity to really appreciate what it means to be a scientist, what it means to do great things, and how to go about that. And so what happened next is I get a couple of emails saying, hey, we're looking for somebody with this kind of skill set for some kind of job in the United States. Packed my bags up, I moved to the United States, and I ended up here in California. It wasn't all about me, it was all about what can we do for the world. And so that's where I realized that we could do more together working with others to really make an impact, this is a great opportunity to start a company. And that's where we are now. We're at the headquarters of 10x Genomics, based here in Pleasanton, California. Started off with a simple napkin, writing down some ideas about how we're going to change the world. And turns out, 8 or 9 years later, that's exactly what we're doing.
I was working as a research associate after my BHD, and Chris came back to Deakin to visit during a vacation of his. I saw him in the halls and he said that 10x was looking for a synthetic chemist. I didn't know much about the company, but I knew if these guys were involved, it was an exciting opportunity, so I applied.
I was about 2 kilometres underground in a Chinese coal mine working as a gas chemist when I got a call from Chris Heinsohn regarding a position they were looking for a synthetic chemist. And needless to say, I jumped at the opportunity to put the skills that I'd acquired during my time at Deakin to use in a much more fitting, rewarding, but challenging role.
Joined 10x, I was one of the scientific founders and had worked previously with other people and other Deakinites. Why not get more Deakinites over, and then here we are, 10x all the way.
Prior to 10x, there was another biotech company called QuanLife, and that was also co-founded by Ben Heinsohn. And that's where I got my first job straight out of my PhD at Deakin University, and I worked there with Chris Heinsohn and Adam Lowe. And it was truly an amazing time. We got to work with such brilliant minds from a whole heap of different scientific disciplines. It was a really high risk but high reward environment, which also meant it was really work hard, play hard environment. And we were very successful at that company. We launched an instrument that's still used by the life sciences community today. And we sold the company to a large biotech company. So I kept in contact with Ben and I reached out to him, and I knew he had a new startup. And I said, I don't know what it is that you're doing. I don't really care. I want back in. I want a chance to go and work with my buddies from Deakin University again and do some cool science.
I was working as a postdoc at Deakin when Chris offered me the opportunity to interview at 10x, which was a company that didn't have an internet presence, doing a job they couldn't really tell me what it was going to be about. And for someone that doesn't take a lot of risk in their life, it could have been a very risky decision, but knowing that Chris and Ben were involved, it didn't seem like that much of a risk at all. And I made the decision to interview, and I'm still here 7 years later, and I don't regret it for a second. It's the best choice I made.
From the team, thank you, Deakin, for this award. And if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
A bunch of Aussies doing their bit in California. Looks fun. And I didn't realise that I was a Deakinite. Maybe we should get t-shirts made. It's so great that these connections created at Deakin have helped the 10x Genomics team to achieve international success. A really critical field at this time as we become more and more reliant on understanding the complexity of genetics, chemical science and biology. So congratulations again to Ben and the team. And please join me in congratulating all of our Alumni Award recipients via the comment function. Our award winners will be able to see them and will really appreciate your messages of support. And so we've already got some comments coming in. From Danny, congratulations Amenthi, amazing. From Phil, congratulations Amenthi and all the winners, you are all inspiring. We also have a message from Paul. Congratulations Ben, Chris, Jeff, Jess, Adam and Josh. A remarkable story of a talented group of Deakin graduates changing the world. And another message from Colin. Congratulations 10x. Good to see chemists doing well, applying their skills in key areas such as genomics. So that brings us to the end of today's event. Thank you to Vice-Chancellor Professor Ian Martin, Chancellor Mr. John Stanhope AM, and to Pamela Bahoon. And thank you, our alumni, students and Deakin community for joining us and for sharing your messages throughout. So if you know an outstanding Deakin graduate, we would love it if you submitted a nomination for the 2021 Deakin Alumni Awards. The webpage to visit is on your screen now, or you can contact the Deakin Alumni Engagement Team for entry details. We leave you now with messages from two of our past Alumni Award winners. First, Ben Graham, former Geelong AFL footballer, from 1993 to 2005 who transitioned to play in the NFL, becoming the first Australian to play in the Super Bowl. Ben received an Alumni of the Year award in 2012. You'll also hear from Madison Brown, one of Australia's most distinguished netballers. Maddie was co-captain of the Collingwood Magpies netball team and has represented Australia many times. Maddie was recognised in 2014 with the Young Alumni of the Year award. So a big thank you to everyone for being part of this year's awards. And Yalu Namile, which means we will see each other again.
I would like to firstly congratulate all the award winners. What a fantastic effort and achievement it is. It's an honour and a privilege not only to attend Deakin University, but to be acknowledged with the great work and achievements that you've been able to accomplish. I know it's been a challenging year for everybody, but there's no better time to be a part of something like the Deakin University Alumni. It's a special university. It has meant so much to every single one of us. So all the best in all of your current and future endeavours. And to the award winners, congratulations again and good luck.
I am delighted to have this opportunity to firstly congratulate all the award winners. You are outstanding individuals that have shown excellence in your chosen fields or industries, and this prestigious award is something you should be truly proud of. I was humbled in receiving my Alumni Award and in awe of the people that I got to meet. 2020 has, to say the least, been very challenging for everyone and thrown a bit of a curveball at us, but I do believe my time at Deakin has probably put me in a great position to handle the ups and downs of 2020. That open growth mindset to be innovative and creative and to think outside the square and step outside your comfort zone and try some new things. I wish you all the very best in your future endeavours, and I look forward to seeing what the Deakin 2020 alumni continue to showcase in years to come. So congratulations, welcome to the Deakin alumni community.